Today we are doing some very interesting conspiracy theories.
Cue the happy hour podcast music. I think we should do some true crime at one point as well. You know?
True crime.
True crime is my go-to. True crime.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today me, Matthew, and Finn, you know the host. What is wrong with me? We're doing some conspiracy theories. So we decided to shape it up this week. We've actually planned the episode. We've actually got conspiracy. We all have Word documents, which is a shocker.
I've got a blank Word document.
Black Word document.
Blank.
Oh, I thought you said a black Word document.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white.
And we aren't filming, you know.
Yeah, I'm singing.
Right.
Hello, everyone.
But before the episode starts, just want to say it would mean a lot if you could go down below, like and subscribe. We are on Spotify. Type in the Lads Podcast, and we do have a Patreon where you get early access to each episode every week and extra episodes. Plug out of the way. Who wants to go first? Matt?
Sure.
I'm still trying to find my second one, but I've got my first one.
Just remember,
Yes,
you got to stay near the. You keep doing that.
I know.
You keep just bringing it back. Like, just bring it with you.
I've lost the plot, guys. Yeah, that's not the conspiracy theory. One conspiracy theory. This is a big one. College is Queen is dead.
The Queen is. You think the
Queen's
is dead?
Queen's dead.
So who's the Queen?
The Queen.
There isn't one
Now.
No, but they would have to tell us if the Queen was dead. Then.
But they don't want to have this as a bank holiday. They want to have that.
So who's this person impersonating the Queen on the TV?
Yeah, no, that's a good question actually.
Pre-recorded.
I don't know. I don't.
What? So live.
She's not been live yet this year.
Do you think we'll find out at the speech, or do you think she?
Do you think?
She won't do a speech.
Do you think that she's suffering from a bit of heartbreak after the loss of Prince Philip?
Do you think it's a bit like Queen Victoria because she was
Yeah, it's not.
I feel like
not that bad. She's still wearing white.
I think Prince Philip was kind of like the Queen's
Yeah.
soulmate in a way.
I agree.
And I feel like obviously she's kind of heartbroken, which you would be if you've been with each other for like 75 years.
How long were they together for?
Literally,
A while.
wasn't he like in World War II or something? Like
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he fought in World War II.
Fought in World War II. But,
yeah.
So one theory is that the Queen is dead, Matthew.
Come on, elaborate on this.
Go on, we need more on this one, Matthew.
No, you did some research. Tell us what you were.
I am listening, by the way. If it looks like I'm not listening.
Like all the pictures of the Queen
Right.
are like body double.
So, like, there is someone. Are you trying to say like the Queen is dead and they've prepared for it?
Yeah.
Or
It's part of of that plan, like London Bridge.
Operation London Bridge, yeah.
This is part.
We've
of
all
it that they haven't
seen. We have
published.
all seen the Watch Mojo video of like the top 10 things that happen when the Queen dies.
yeah, well, everyone has seen that video, but I don't think they'd be able to cover it up that well. Like, why would they cover up that the Queen is dead?
I think that they've all been sworn to see. And like
I'm not
at the
being
end
funny.
of the
We've
day,
started this on a very, very solemn conspiracy theory, but you get the
At
gist.
school we say it's
Conspiracy.
red. That's a Cockney one.
So, but why? I don't see a reason for them.
yeah,
to cover
why
it up.
would they? All because of a bank holiday.
I don't believe this.
So why are you saying it as a conspiracy
No,
theory?
because that's the point. So
Oh,
you don't
I don't
always
believe
agree
Is
with
it?
every
Oh well, I've done
conspiracy
two that I believe with.
thought. All right, fair enough then.
I don't believe the second one as much, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so I think we should rate them all on believability.
Go on.
Um,
I'll make a little believability
I think
scale.
this one isn't very believable. I don't
Yeah.
think. I think this is a one.
Believability.
One out of
Matt.
maybe a 2 out of 10 at a push.
My next one.
Oh wait, why don't we just do one each?
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
one
I thought
each.
I had two.
Yeah, we've got two, but we'll do one each. Like you do one, I do one, he does one, then you go back to your second.
Okay,
I go back
so
to Logan goes
the one-
to his because I still need to do a bit more research.
You
The
can
one-
show on this.
Yeah, we've actually planned this one. So the one I've got is one that I actually think about because I don't know about you two, but I have I wouldn't say it's a big fear of death. But,
I have a fear of death.
but like when I die, I'm a bit scared of what's after, if that makes sense. So obviously
Yeah.
that leads on. So like I don't have a shower, but like imagine
What?
if I don't. I have a bath.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
have a shower.
I thought you meant I don't have a shower.
What? No, I don't. like, if I had a shower, I would sit in the shower and think about death. But like, it's very scary how literally you could die, and the world just carries on. So like, what happens after death? Obviously, because you have different beliefs in different religions. So obviously, Christians believe that you go to heaven or hell. Accordingly,
Yeah.
Finn would go to hell.
Thank you.
No problemo. But so afterlife is like, it's the existence after. So it's an individual's identity of the stream of consciousness continues. So do we believe that, like, so you have like reincarnation? So you're born as a new person.
I think I believe that, but what I think is like it's hard to explain. Like, do you come back as another person, or do you come back as like, I don't know, a brick or something? Do you know what I mean?
A brick.
No, but I'm saying, like, let's think about it.
But
do you come back as like an actual living thing, or do you come back as like
Some Buddhists believe that
You believe
how you
bad
lived?
your sin
Yeah,
is, you come as a brick.
yeah.
And
So if you
good-
were a really bad person, you'd come back as
You would
like,
literally come back as a
you'd
brick.
come back as like a worm or something.
brick or
Literally, like something that's
or piece of grass.
Piece of
literally,
grass.
yeah. And then at the end of the day, how you'll die is, I don't know, you get cut or something. Let's say,
Yeah.
And then you just endless.
like if you're a brick, I don't know, you get smashed up or something.
Yeah, no, I don't see. I don't agree with that one. I don't think reincarnation.
I've
makes any
thought of the
sense.
idea of reincarnation. Don't know how like valid it is.
Because there's this story. I don't know. You might know this one. That we got taught in religious
RE.
studies. Yeah,
The
you
kid.
might know this one.
About the kid.
So there's a kid that lives in the Scottish Islands, and he used to describe this place to his parents. But bear in mind, this kid was only like 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
old. They'd never been on holiday anywhere. So then there was like describing this thing from when he used to be a soldier and stuff like that. And then they turned around, went to this place, and everything he described was exactly as they said.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because clearly, like, this kid apparently hadn't been anywhere. He hadn't read any books like this, so it would have been like completely in the head. So maybe he was reincarnated as a kid.
I don't know.
What I think is that like
I
I
am. The
am.
parents is
Yeah. I am.
fair.
I think I'm an evidence person. So unless firsthand that I've had evidence, it is still very hard for me to obviously, you know.
Yeah.
The
like-
parents and the kids.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying that they did stage it, but the chances are they could have staged it for media attention. Do you know what I mean? The same with like, do you know like the mediums and stuff that like contact like spirits and stuff? Like, there's like Ouija boards and stuff. Like, how much of that is actually true, and how much of that
Yeah,
is simply someone just moving the?
It's like them videos on YouTube at like 3 a.m. Like, going in a. I think Joe Weller would be an example. I don't know if they're fake. I'm not calling him out.
I've taken one of my inspirations from Joe Weller.
The videos are good. Don't get me wrong. But what I am saying is,
I think they're
like-
biased towards his views, like because like one of my examples is to do with the pyramids and stuff.
yeah,
And he's obviously like a massive believer in aliens and like extraterrestrial beings. So at the end of the day, he will tailor his videos towards extraterrestrial
yeah. And I
beings.
feel like with that, like, I feel like Ouija boards are just a bit not fake, but like.
If I did an
There's
Ouija
nothing
board,
really-
I would do an Ouija board 100%. If anyone wanted to do an Ouija board, I would do an Ouija board.
See, I don't think I would, because I feel like they're just a bit fake. Like,
Why is Matthew crying or laughing?
Matthew just hit his head on the microphone.
Oh, I thought he was crying for a minute because we're talking
He's
about
in
Ouija
tears.
boards or something.
No, but yeah, with reincarnation, I feel like it's a bit like it wouldn't. I don't think it doesn't make sense logistically. How could you come back as a brick?
As a whole, do you believe in the afterlife?
Yes, I feel like there is something after
Yeah.
after when you die.
What I say, all right, I say that even though the Big Bang could have created Earth, I'm not saying that it did. Obviously, I'm trying to remain unbiased because of everything's political nowadays. But something would have then had to create the Big Bang at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And surely a Big Bang could not have created the whole of the human race as we know it today. When you think about it, how can a little amoeba...
The chances of it happening
Yeah.
are
A slim to none,
incredibly,
yeah.
incredibly slim, and it's like, how on earth?
So what's our percentage?
We are not trying to like rub religion or...
Yeah, no, we're not trying
Any
to. We're not trying to
form of-
start anything here. We're just actually like have. This is quite a good conversation. I'm quite enjoying it. But yeah, with
I'm
reincarnation.
glad that you don't enjoy the other conversations that we have, Logan.
Saying that, am I, mate? But like,
What website, man?
I feel like what's our beliefs on heaven and hell? Like, what do we perceive that to be? Is it just we live? Would it be like it's just like Earth, just we're dead? Do we believe it's like our soul? Does our soul go to heaven, or does our whole body?
I've always wanted the idea of my whole body going there, but I don't know whether or not that's me being selfish and wanting to actually like live it rather than the soul going up. Like,
yeah, I used to believe that like my dog went up to heaven with. That's a bit.
It's the same with like, I'm taking this way back to the extremes, but like, do you know the Viking times?
Yeah.
They used to like bury their wives and the dogs in with the thingy, like as a sign like they're going to the afterlife. At the end of the day,
Valhalla, where you have to die in battle, or you.
if the afterlife has been going on for this long, surely that there is some kind of meaning.
Yeah. So this is like with old scriptures and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, the Bible, for example. Look how far that's come. That's come from like years.
Yeah.
There's like 2,000 years the Bible's been going.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, it's fake. It's fake."
I don't know if I believe the Bible.
You're not starting anything. I just feel like a lot of things. It's like, what are the chances that there is an afterlife? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like with the afterlife, there's more harm done if you don't believe in it, because if you have to believe to get into the afterlife,
That's Pascal's wager, isn't it?
yeah, something
Pascal's
like
wager basically says it's better to believe in the afterlife, even if you don't, because then there's still a chance you can get to heaven. Whereas if you don't believe in it, then there's more chance that you either go to hell or purgatory or
We were
whatever.
discussing this at college this week.
I will try and get up Pascal's wager, because I swear that's what it is. But we had to learn about it in RE, which is why Logan's obviously... God exists, God does not exist on one horizontal line at the top. Then across, it says you believe in God or you don't believe in God. If you believe in God and God exists, then you get eternal happiness in heaven. If God does not exist, but you believe in God, nothing happens. If God exists, but you don't believe in God, you go to hell. Whereas if God doesn't exist, but you don't believe in God, nothing happens. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that they are, but they're trying to say that eternal happiness, you may as well believe in God, because then if he does exist, then you will get eternal happiness. Whether or not God then knows if you truly believe it or not is a different...
So yeah, I agree with that thing, because if you do believe and then nothing turns... Like, what have you lost out on?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay,
this like... It's a bit more damaging if you didn't believe, if that makes sense. And...
I feel like that's when people turn to like religion and like their
that's why
darkest
a lot of
times,
people,
because then they'll kind of go, oh, you know what, I'm scared. I'm not saying that everyone does, but like people turn to religion when they're scared, like when they're on their deathbed, kind of being like...
It's kind of like a lot of people, when you're alone, you tend to get a bit older. A lot of people turn to religion as like a comfort, because with me... Like, I am afraid, like, I don't want to die, if that makes sense.
I don't want to. I
want to live as long as I possibly can.
I'll spill my deepest, darkest secret. The boys already know it. My fear the most is actually going to sleep. And it sounds really weird, but, like, the start of when you're first going to sleep, like, as soon as that happens, like, you're not in control anymore.
Yeah. I think that
and
sleep is
also,
really scary.
I kind of look at it and think, this is really weird, but this is how, like, I live. Like... If I go to sleep and I die, don't get me wrong, like I might not know that I'm dead. But at the end of the day, if I was then to miraculously wake up and didn't live my life how I actually like wanted to live my life, and I look back and kind of thought, you know what,
lots
I'm
of
dead.
regrets.
Yeah, then I'd kind of be there like, well, what was the point of actually like being here? If you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Matt, but do you find it difficult to sleep?
I find it. I hate sleep. Everyone likes sleep. I hate sleep with a passion.
I have to feel comfortable to sleep.
Yeah.
And normally that means like talking to someone or knowing, like, I hate being alone.
Oh.
I hate... Shut up, you didn't have to call me out like that!
The thing that I do is I leave my light on before I go to bed. Then my parents turn the light off, so I know.
I'm very extroverted. The lads know that, and like... Yeah, I always talk to myself, and I'm thinking. I think out loud.
That's just me being weird.
And I hate being alone, like doing things alone. Like if I could, that's why I could never work in an office job, because I couldn't.
I'd prefer to do some stuff alone, like. Well, that's getting cut out. All right, everyone, tune back in because
tune back
we've got
into
a
that one.
sponsor from. Nothing. Anyway, moving on. My turn because you won't know what Logan's just said. Join the Patreon and we'll give you exclusive access to what he's just said.
Oh, dear.
Must be 16 or over.
Terms and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions.
Right, come on then, Finn. Let's just go
Alright,
to yours.
my first one, I've already hinted at it. The ancient pyramids of Giza in Egypt,
Okay.
were they built by normal people like you and me, or were they built by something that we do not know of, such as an extra being?
I'm not being funny. They are a bit big.
They are a bit
Very.
big.
And let me.
The bricks are very big. How would
I'm
you
going
get...
to move into this. So we have like. I'm going to include multiple things into the one theory about like the pyramids as a whole, not just being like built by humans. So if we look at the first example, we've got pseudo archaeology. It's known as alternative archaeology, and it's basically to do with like the spooky archaeology. It refers to interpretations of the past from outside. It rejects the accepted data gathering and analytical measures, which is where we move into the fact that the pyramids, like Logan's just said, one block weighed precisely 3 tons.
Yeah,
to
a
lift.
normal person would not be able to...
So if we do the maths here, it is said that between 50 to 55 strong people would have been had to carry the bricks. Okay. However, science has argued that only 14 people carried the bricks. If we did the maths with 14 people and 3 tons, that is 194 kilograms that one person would have had to lift.
That's
At the end
not
of the day,
humanly possible.
that is not humanly possible. If we then go back into pseudo archaeology,
He's fully whipped out.
We have
GCSE
found
history essay. over here.
we have found out that around the area of the pyramids, there have been ancient like skulls and skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
These skeletons, they might have been tampered with. Obviously, we can't say.
Yeah,
But
Also, I'm not being funny, but these pyramids had to be perfectly aligned for them not to collapse.
This
And
is
I'm not
where-
being funny. People back then weren't as intelligent as we are now. They
So,
didn't have cranes and
we've
new
found-
angles and stuff like that.
But it did discover one thing that it did discover was angles.
however, we will get onto that in a minute, Matthew, because I have a point. They used sleds.
Do this. We learnt this in college. You do that. That's the proper way of.
They used sleds which carried a stone block and it was attached to ropes by wooden posts. They could pull up the blocks out of the quarry on very steep slopes of 20% or more, which is where your angles come in. However, this is where it turns into pseudo archaeology, because not only have we got the skeletons found that were like 12 feet, which, to be fair, these are saying that in order to lift a brick, you would have had to be in a minimum of 2 meters, which is about 10 feet.
I don't think the I've not really researched into this, but thinking now, because you've said this, I didn't realise how impossible it would actually...
But they had
When- When you also think about it, though,
They had the Jews in some pyramids. They had
yeah, but even when you look at it, 50 to 55 people, first of all, it's around 1 brick. How are you meant to fit that many people around 1 brick?
quite big.
They are quite big
Yeah,
bricks.
but they're big, but they're not
They also had
55
cranes.
people.
They had cranes as well.
Was this BC or AD when the pyramids were built? BC. So this would have been... See, this is what I mean. Anything in the past 100 years, we have a lot more evidence for. So...
Can we have a
I don't
look
know.
then at something that we have got evidence for? The heat and the extremities of the heat in Egypt. You imagine carrying 1 brick and working inside of the pyramid, okay?
You'd faint.
For hours on end, you would faint and die. At the end of the day, how many people would have died from building the pyramids? And then, at the end of the day, they're saying that there's a curse around some tombs and stuff, and booby traps and stuff. But at the end of the day, they had to lay the booby traps, so someone had to go inside to do that.
Yeah.
And then,
It's
furthermore,
like Stonehenge.
we'll go... I've not heard about Stonehenge.
There's a theory about Stonehenge.
Stonehenge is that place down in...
Down in.
I'm not
Surrey, I
Stone.
think, innit?
That
Explains a
their
lot.
bricks came from a quarry, Wales. This is same time period
Yeah.
as pyramids. But the fact there is archaeology now that
Yeah.
fossils, bones, dead. Yeah, it's a bit weird, pyramids.
Definitely.
I'm
I've
like
never really thought about
50-50.
them. Yeah.
I do believe in aliens-ish, kind of.
I feel like aliens is like such a plain topic that everyone talks about. I don't think aliens are the grey things with the big eyes.
No,
I believe if there is life, it will be like something we already
Is
know.
there any life on?
Shut up, you and your young blood.
Let me just go back onto the final thing because
Yeah, go on then.
so Matthew talking about angles. What we have found out is that every pyramid lines up perfectly facing the North Pole. At the end of the day, how would they have known without some
Where to
help
build it?
that they
Because they
would
didn't
have
have maps
aligned
then, did they?
perfectly with the North Pole?
So,
This is where we need to also go back to Logan's believability because I want to know
Yeah.
my believability as
did
well.
we do the
because-
believability
No.
online?
We did. Matthew's got a 1.
Afterlife.
because
Yeah,
it was like-
afterlife. I believe afterlife is a.
I'll go Matthew's 2 because there might be a chance,
Yeah.
but
No, I feel like afterlife's a lot more believable, so I would probably give.
of course you're
Afterlife-
going to say that.
no, because some of them like aren't as. I feel like they're. I feel like afterlife.
Can we go yours?
7? I'd say 7 for
I
afterlife.
wouldn't go 7. I wouldn't go 7. I'd go yours a 5, me a 7.
No, I think let's do afterlife.
We're not
first.
dead.
Let's do afterlife first.
Go on, afterlife.
Right, Matt, what's your
Matt.
8 out of 10?
I'll do an average between 3
4.
4.
But afterlife, I believe it's like 7 for afterlife.
4 plus 7.
afterlife. Believe in afterlife.
Yeah.
7.
7.
What?
I don't know
Or-
if that's just the stereotype.
Actually, no. Or do you want to make it more believable because you said that you're scared of death? Do you want there to be something afterwards?
Exactly,
rather
that's the
than
point.
fact that-
So it's more
That
believable.
is the point, Logan.
That is the point. That's the point I was making.
So let's
It's more believable because it's something I want. See, pyramids. Yeah, but I'm not really bothered. I haven't been near the pyramids. The pyramids don't really. It's like, oh yeah, cool pyramids. Like,
yeah.
it's not like afterlife affects every single person.
Yeah, but we're not going to know until we're dead. So we're not going to have. We're going to be able to have this debate until we're dead, guys. So we'll see you when we're on a deathbed, guys. But,
But yeah, right. Let's go to Matthews.
I'm going to do the maths while Logan does.
my one about Malaysia Airlines Flight 370.
Yes. No, I remember
Is that the
when-
Golden Triangle? Golden Triangle, Bermuda Triangle? Or is
No,
that...
no. This is. I was thinking about this because, but they might have discovered it. It's the one that disappeared out of the skies. No one can find it. Most expensive. Like, yeah. It was lost the South China Sea today, but I now think it's near Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah.
And they've just lost contact. Like, it's 2014. I was flying at the time.
I want to
It's
just
disappearance.
whip this up on Google really quickly because I've never even heard of this, Matthew.
You've never heard of
Have you not heard of this flight?
I've
No,
never
it's
heard of
flying
it.
between. Flying between. I can't.
What's it called?
Go
Malaysia.
for the punch. Yeah, that. Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Lumpur National Airport to Beijing Capital International Airport. The crew of the Boeing 77200ER aircraft last communicated with air traffic control around 38 minutes after takeoff, when the flight was over the South China Sea. The aircraft was lost from ATC radar screens minutes later, but was tracked by military radar for another hour. Diverting westwards from its planned flight path, crossing the Malaysia Peninsula, Andaman Sea, left 200 nautical miles, which is 370 kilometers, northwest of Panga Island, in northwest peninsula of Malaysia. It's the deadliest Malaysia Airlines history until it was priced in both regards by Malaysia Airlines Flight 17.
They have
Yeah,
found
it was-
some debris.
They have found some debris, but
It's really
the conspiracy theory is what there's like 4. One is that it was hijacked and crashed in to sea
What, by terrorists or just by
by
some...
terrorists. Second, it was took over by the government
Yeah.
and took to a mountain, hidden mountain.
Yeah. At the end
How
of the
does
day, the radio would have
How
still...
does a big plane like that
And
just
another-
go off the grid?
Another one is that
I'm
it's
not
been-
being funny, right?
It's been abducted by aliens. That's how it
Yeah,
explains how
there is nothing like it. Literally just
disappeared.
Let's go with the alien theory, because I'm into aliens.
No,
If you
I
haven't
don't-
or have not.
it literally just vanished, and I'm so confused how literally something that big with so many people just disappeared off the face
Well,
of the
they're saying
earth.
that there's 0 survivors, obviously.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. So
They've not discovered
was it a crash that went straight to the bottom of the ocean that could never be found, and then
At the end of the day, though,
the pressure
surely...
just cracked the plane, so it literally just destroyed itself?
No, that practically impossible, because...
And another
No, but
theory.
think how deep the sea is.
Another theory is that it was on fire, the cockpit, so all the circuits caught fire. So that's how they lost control.
It's a
Radar.
Boeing 777, though. It's not like it's just some random plane. Like
No,
it's
it's a
a
Boeing.
wasn't-
So it's
a
got a
Boeing
black
plane.
box. That's what I'm confused about. 'cause
Exactly.
You usually control.
Yeah.
You usually find the black box. But the black box, I think, has been destroyed. But it can't. It's really difficult to destroy a black box.
So then that proves that someone else, or it could have...
And so there's some people.
And then
believe-
if you're saying it's really
whoever did it
difficult...
must have known what they were doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, and then that's where Logan, no offense to your theory about it going, maybe if it went to the deep bottom of the sea, but if you're saying that it's smashed upon impact, surely the black box would have survived.
But they are saying it's 300 miles away from Melbourne, which is deep in. The
Is
ocean.
it?
The ocean's really
The
deep.
Indian's really deep. Like a massive
That
ocean.
freaks me out, because do you know how deep the ocean is and how little we've actually
Exactly.
explored of the
Yeah.
ocean?
And-
There
and
could be
you can't-
anything underneath there.
Because I saw this thing, like this guy got a world record. He got like the deepest down in the sea really quickly, but
Yeah.
it took him 3 days to get back to the surface. Because if you go up for more than 10 minutes at a time, you get a
Brain
bubble
hemorrhage.
in your head, and it causes brain damage. So
Oh,
you
wow.
have to go up at 10, wait there for an hour, go up 10 minutes, wait for an hour, keep going and going and
Fucking
going.
3 days just to go do that. That's honestly...
That's how mental the like water pressure is. So down
Yeah.
down at the bottom of the sea, the pressure down there is like so mad that you can't even get down there to discover what's going on. So it probably could be that this plane is sat at the bottom of the sea, and it literally the pressure it just cracked everyone, all the sea, everything,
Yeah.
which is mental to think.
I think that's got more believability than the Queen's dead, Matthew.
Yeah.
Not being funny.
So
We start
what are we going with that one?
I feel like what's the theory we're saying?
Yeah.
That it went to the bottom of the sea and just. But like, do you think something went wrong with the plane, or someone took?
If
over
you're
the
saying
plane
it
and
just
crashed
vanished,
it?
I haven't known enough about
Is it literally just like 1 second it was there, click, gone, or is it went down, obviously, or
There's a
they
whole-
lost control, or
there's a whole-
engines cut out?
There's a whole video about this on YouTube by. I'll try and get it up so I can shout him out.
Give him a shout out.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it-
what are we doing in terms of believability? Because then
I would
Logan-
say that one's a 6.
I'll go 5.
I feel like someone knew what they were doing.
Matthew.
Someone knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm going for a 6.
5 plus
Real
6
Life
plus-
Law has done one, and let me know.
Is like
Do you think
fate.
that's why people like? I'm a massive believer in things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like, if a thing's gonna happen for a reason, like you know it's gonna happen for a reason. So surely something's preempted that.
It's like if you had two paths and then you decide both paths go to the same
Tool
place.
chains.
Okay. It's like if you have two paths and you decide to go to the left one, but both paths go the same way, get to the same place, but you choose the left one and then you get hit by a car.
Well,
If you
then
chose the right one, you would have got there. And it's like
Let's just say like you're gonna get reunited with a family member.
it's
You
like
either
what
do
are
it
the
like the
chances-
right path where it's just you just meet them one day in the street,
like, yeah.
or like you get hit by a car in the other path, but they both lead you to meeting the family member. Like they go visit you in hospital or something.
Yeah, no, because I think it's mad, like the amount of crazy things that happen that can't be explained.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, how on earth?
Did you hear about the guy that literally, I think he survived 2 plane crashes, got a lottery ticket, won the jackpot, then he went straight back in the store to reenact it on Australian TV, and then just won the jackpot again?
Yeah,
There's like a video, he's there like, I've just won like 25 grand or however one it is, and it's just there like surely something's like.
Oh crap.
Yeah, that was a
I
terrible
wasn't.
Australian accent.
G'day, mate. G'day.
But
I'm not the best of accent. Sorry, Australians, for offending you.
Yeah. He
He's
just
done
hit his
it
head.
again.
He's
I
done
would
it
have to
again.
argue, Logan, that yours
What?
is.
But it's like the thought of the Earth ending. One day, the Earth might just
5 billion years' time, the sun's meant to explode.
Yeah.
We're not going to be around then.
Like a grandkids, like times 100.
Yeah.
It might affect them. It's like global warming. Like
I think global
100
warming.
years ago, no one
No.
thought like Victorian
Yeah.
industrial. Everyone was pumping out the carbon dioxide trains, blah 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 blah. Now we're really. Do you think we can reverse global warming? I think this is a good question for Matt. Actually, do you think we can reverse global warming?
No.
No.
I think we can do
No.
stuff to prohibit.
We can
delay it. Do you
We
think
can delay
delay
it, but we
not-
can't fully.
We can't go back.
At the end of the day, we can't. No offense, like we can't.
We have to live with it.
Like
We
with
have to-
with the
we have to
icebergs and
adapt.
stuff. Like
Because if
yeah.
you look at if I'm doing adaptation at college,
Yeah.
if you look at animals, they adapt. We haven't adapted for so
I
long.
feel sorry for
We need
polar
to
bears
adapt.
and stuff. Like polar
Yeah,
bears,
because
like
they're gonna go extinct.
They are gonna go
100
extinct.
years time, our grandkids are
But
not
we
gonna know
haven't
what
had
polar
a
bears.
mass extinction event for so long.
It's
I think it'll be the polar bears next.
Polar bears might disappear, but they're moving down south. Black bears used to be more northern than they did.
So we're
There's
gonna.
always
What do
been
you think's
climate
gonna go
change.
extinct next?
I don't think anything's going to go extinct.
Yeah.
But we're speeding up climate change. Climate change has always been
Well,
a
no,
thing.
'cause we're doing-
Look at ice ages. Ice ages happened before
Yeah.
without human impact. Human impact's helping. This is not warm weather. This is like minus
But
one.
this is
Yeah.
this is I think this is normal for this time of year.
This is not. This is not.
Do you think
last week when we had snow?
Yeah.
We had snow and then it was 10 degrees.
That is actually
That's
very
just
true.
Well, yeah, because some days it's really warm. It's not really warm, but compared to
In the
other
winter,
days-
like it's normally stereotypical that it's cold and that is thing. If we're getting 10 degrees,
The Gulf Stream's just moving up and down really quickly. Gulf Stream.
So how long are we saying until global warming? Like you're saying we're adapting. Does that mean we're gonna have to like all live on hills because of the rising sea level?
No, we just need to
impact.
get science involved.
It's like, what are the chances? Odds of things happening. So many things happen all the time.
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds of you walking down the street and meeting KSI? Like, the odds are very slim. But that's another thing. If you get the tube, let's say in London, and you decide you've got two different stops, you could get off at one or another. If you got off at the first stop and then met KSI, but if you stayed on the tube and got off at the next stop, you would never have met. Like, what are the
Yeah.
chances? It's absolutely mental.
I just don't think. All right,
Come on.
mine. I like
This one, I believe.
this one. All right, is I think the most believable.
The
But
description.
this one is talking about John F. Kennedy assassination.
Okay.
Let's talk about the whole Kennedy. The
The
Kennedy
whole.
back
So
up.
I'm not going to go into too much political detail, but he was very much in favour of helping the African Americans, segregation,
Also
civil rights movement. I'm not going to go into that because
Also helped Cuba.
helped Cuba.
Not helped
He
Cuba. Ended the Cuban
ended the
crisis.
Cuban Missile Crisis with Khrushchev.
So he did so many good things.
He did so many good
He didn't
things.
deserve to die.
But he
What?
was also a dodgy fella.
Do you think
He
a lot of presidents
He
and
slept with
prime ministers
like
and
40 different people.
This isn't what I'm talking about, guys.
Yeah, but, like, do you think karma came and got him? Because there are a lot of
Karma?
things that do we believe in karma?
I believe in karma in some instances.
No, I'm a strong believer in karma. Like, if you do something bad to someone,
I hope
something
you
bad will
choke
happen to
on
you.
every
What is it we
day.
doing singing?
I have a song for like everything. Karma's a I heard what goes around. All right, so this is the theory. According to the official investigation, Lee Harvey Oswald, the killer of John F. Kennedy, acted alone. He fired 3 bullets from a 6th floor window at the southeast corner of the book depository. Kennedy was struck once in the upper back and once in the head. He slumped over onto his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, and the Texas governor, John B. Connally Jr., was in the limo with his wife and was shot in the back. However, Connally did survive the attack. when we look at this in detail, Connolly, who not many people may have heard of, he plays a massive role in if there was a single killer in John F. Kennedy's assassination. Because if we're saying he did this from a book depository, I don't know if that's the same as a library.
I don't see how the FBI didn't click on. I'm not being funny.
Maybe they were involved. This is where we lead on to Lee Harvey Oswald. Lee Harvey Oswald had moved to Russia. He married a Soviet woman, then moved to the USA. This was at a time during the McCarthy scare, basically the Red Scare, McCarthy scare, basically obviously capitalism versus communism. Lee Harvey Oswald had killed somebody, I believe, because he attempted to shoot a retired United States Major General who had been a staunch critic of communism. Now,
Coming.
So, this being said, obviously it might prove Lee Harvey Oswald as a communist. We don't know this is the case, but if this is the case, then this shows his intent towards this, like obviously for shooting him. However, when you look at it in more detail, maybe he was employed by either a Soviet party.
I believe that he was paid, that there was two people, him and some from Cuba.
At the end of the day, one shot could not have gone. I think I read it where one shot could not have gone through one person and then the other person.
I don't know how far away the...
Yeah, I think it was like, I can't remember how many feet,
because
but
you can't move from, you're pointing your shot, your sniper here.
the car was moving at the end
And
of
then
the day.
you have to go bang.
There is
bang,
a theory that someone acted from a hill. I was trying to find the hill, but I couldn't find it. But someone was hiding behind the hill, and they fired another shot, which directly shot Kennedy. And that obviously one bullet from either Oswald or this other an actor.
I'm not being funny, but how do you just wake up one day and say, I want to kill the president?
Obviously, you don't.
You don't. So you have to plan. He wouldn't have acted alone. Why? I understand a lot of people would probably want to, okay? Like, they'd say, I don't know if they'd say it as Joker would actually do it, but a lot of people wouldn't go through with it. I think...
What I think he was that he was set up.
I think he was in the influence
as
of
well,
someone else.
because
Someone
of the fact, as soon as he was walking, there's videos online of him walking to his trial.
Yeah.
He was walking to his trial. There's video on YouTube. He's walking to his trial, and he is shot by Jack Ruby. Literally in the stomach, he's killed by Jack Ruby. At the end of the day, if Lee Harvey Oswald had killed the president, surely you'd do a lot more to protect him from the people.
But I think... Yeah, because people that are
At the end of the day,
supporters of him.
how did they not notice someone with a gun?
On a building. The FBI
No,
would have been
I'm not just saying that. Like when he was walking to the trial, Lee Harvey Oswald, surely someone else was in on it. At the end of the day, how do they not? They've just let in a guy with a gun who's just going to kill the guy who shot the president.
Yeah. No,
Then-
I
They
feel
didn't
like
even
that's the
stop him. They
strongest one
kind of
we've
just
had so far.
crowded. They kind of crowded around Lee Harvey Oswald, but didn't like stop the shooter. You're not going to stop a shooter, obviously, but surely if you've killed the president, you're going to have a lot more protection around you.
And I've watched a play. It's called, there's a musical called Assassination.
Okay.
Yeah, and it goes for every single assassination of the president. They concentrated on the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
He got sentenced to death. Jack Ruby did.
Well, yeah, if he did, then they wouldn't have been that bothered if he got
Yeah.
shot. Like, they
Maybe
it was in their interest.
maybe what it was the fact that he might have been Jack Ruby might have been set up as well.
I feel like it's very corrupted.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a lot
At the end of the
there's
day,
a
if
lot
he
of
got the
blurred
death
lines.
penalty, and we're talking about this, they would have got the death penalty to try and shut this Jack Ruby up. So that obviously he didn't come out in. Maybe he was involved in some kind of scheme as well.
Yeah, I genuinely believe that, and I didn't even write that one. I feel like he definitely didn't act alone, and someone was definitely influencing. Maybe he was in the simulation. Someone was controlling him.
So
I
what's
think-
our believability?
What's the believability of that one? If we're saying that's the strongest.
That's probably an 8.
I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, Logan, what was your believability? Sorry.
I'd probably say an 8.
8.
8.
10.
10's a bit far.
No,
There's
I'd
still
go
some
no,
blurred lines.
I'd go 9.5.
I'll go 9.5. I won't be
I have to stick with an 8. I don't think it's that like
I do
100%
believe this.
believable.
This is one thing I do believe.
I think we have mine as the most believable.
Yeah.
Let me just.
So I enjoyed that chat.
I really enjoy. I think if I wasn't a PE teacher, did
I
you
know,
see?
that
Did
was
you see
really
me
weird.
get proper in depth?
We were into that. I like
I
that
love
one.
that one.
I hope I definitely.
I hope
we
you guys
enjoyed it.
like that as much as I was. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm not on a camera right now.
So I'll finish.
Okay. Wait. Let me do this. Wait. Then.
Hello.
So don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, Matthew's finishing it.
Yes,
today.
Matthew. He's had Red Bull. That's why.
Go on our Spotify and listen on Spotify. And don't forget Patreon.
That's good advice.
And thank you for watching. Bye bye.
Ta-ra. Bye.
Bye.